Four young black men passed in front of the liquor lot. One of them shouted something at the white men. Manny barked back. The youths stopped. The maskman's sons stepped forward with their chests out and their mouths full of angry sounds. It's starting all over again, I thought. Maybe we'll be rioting a whole year. Maybe it will never end. The black men crossed the threshold of the Lucky Dime's property line. Stephen Massman bent down to pick up a piece of metal that had once been attached to their counter. One of the angry youths shoved Martin. I held my breath. "Halt!" a man shouted through a megaphone. A dozen or more soldiers appeared out of nowhere. A black soldier wearing a helmet and camouflage khakis talked to the black men while four white soldiers stood in an arc in front of the store owners. The rest of the troops stood across the property line, cutting off the ravaged lot from the street. Most of the National Guardsmen brandished rifles. A crowd was gathering. My hands clenched into fists so tight that my right forearm went into a spasm. While I massaged out the knot of pain, the black soldier, a sergeant, calmed the four youths. I could hear his voice, but my fourth-story window was too far away for me to make out the words. I turned away from the scene and fell into the plush blue chair that sat at my desk. For the next hour, I just sat there, hearing the sounds of people in the street, but not daring to look down. It had been like that for the past 5 days, me holding myself in check while South Los Angeles went up in the flames of a race riot, while stores were looted and snipers fired, and while men, women, and children cried, "Burn, baby, burn!" and "Get Whitey!" on every corner familiar to me. I stayed shut in my home in peaceful West LA, not drinking, not going out with a trunk full of Molotov cocktails. When I finally roused myself, the street down below was full of black people, some venturing out of their homes for the first time since the first night of rioting. Most of them looked stunned. I went to my office door and out into the hall. There was a smell of smoke in the building, too, but not much. Steinman's Shoe Repair was the only store that had been torched. That was on the first night, when the fire truck still braved the hails of sniper bullets. The flames were put out before they could spread. I went to the far stairwell from my office and down the 3 flights to Steinman's side entrance. There was a burnt timber blocking the way. I would have turned around if it weren't for the voices. "What the hell you mean you don't have my shoes, white man?" "Everything is burned up," a frail voice replied, in a mild German accent. "That's not my fault, man," the angry voice said. "I give you my shoes, I expect to get them back." "But they're all burned." "And do you think if this was my store that I could tell you I didn't have anything for you?" the customer said. "Do you think a black man could just say his store done burned down so he don't have to make good on his responsibilities?" "But I don't have your shoes." I shoved the timber out of the way, smudging the palms of my hand with charcoal. When I came into the burned-out room, both occupants turned to look at me. Theodore was a short, powerfully built white man with little hair and big hands. The irate customer was much larger, with a wide chest and a big face that would have been beautiful on a woman. "Hey, Theodore," I said. "Wait your turn, man," the Negro customer warned. "I got business to take care of first." He swiveled his head back to the cobbler and said, "Those shoes cost me $36, and if you can't give 'em up right now, I want to see some money across this here hand." I took a quick breath, and then another. There was an electric tingle over my right cheekbone, and for a moment, the room was tinged in red.